today.
Welcome to Thursday Live, everyone. Thank you for being here again. So today we're going to talk about everything pink with our wonderful couple, Gio and Leticia, all the way from Italy. John, he said he will try to connect, but not sure because he said he may not have stable internet connection. Just hoping that he could say hi to all of us. And also today we will be joined by artists Caroline, Lorena Massa, Gabrielle, and Sabine. And just want to especially mention that these four artists are spread around the world. We have Sabine, who is now in Germany, Caroline from down under Australia. We have Gabrielle from US and Lorena from Europe,
From Italy.
From Italy as well.
Italy.
And of course, Angela is here. All
Yes.
right.
Hi, everybody.
So take it away, Gio and Letty.
Okay. Hello to all. Good evening, good morning, good night to all the world, all the family world. Today I explain and show the simple swatch for this is my selection on watercolor sticks. Most important to replay these beautiful tools, not only color, but these are tools because these are color in your hands. One of most important for all the artists, this is not a pastel because I have a not wax inside. Is a pure watercolor in a sticks. One of these sticks is similar to 3 or 4 half pen. I compare when you want cut put inside. This is an example. It is more perfect is 4. And for the production process, have a minimum part of water inside and a minimum part of gamma rapid. It's a pure watercolor. It's very beautiful. For my style, I reply for a hyperrealistic style. I use in my hand similar to what is impossible to reply Rajat in my hand. I use for the detail. I take one watercolor stick. I take the color with my tiny brush, usually 20-0, 10-0 brush. I take the color and apply the color for the details. This is my micro brush, for example. And this watercolor stick is important for all the techniques. Sorry for under focus. For all the techniques, for especially for plein air artists, because I have a huge quantity of color. The number of watercolor sticks is 62 watercolor, and only 4 for now, only for Primatech. And this is the 4 is hematite, piemontite, serpentine, and sodalite. It's a beautiful color, Primatech series. And the 2 iridescent. This is a piece of iridescent electric blue and pearlescent white. My color when I use the most huge quantity, sorry, is a titanium white and neutral tint. For example, I created the whole for the use for my detail. I use the huge quantity of titanium white because I take with tiny brush for the point of light when don't use the liquid mask, I use the titanium white for creating the point of light. And the neutral tint is fundamental because in watercolor stick is a very, very strong. It's fundamental for me for undertones. As very, very beautiful tools in your hands. And now I start, before the starting, I show the another important case, the watercolor stick case. This is a 5 watercolor stick case for protect your watercolor stick for carriage and for storage. Is very, very important. Is now is in 5, but it's possible to remove and reduce in 1, 2, or when you prefer. It's very important for transport, for carriage, and for storage your watercolor stick. And now I'm starting for this my selection. It's not all watercolor stick, okay, but is my selection for create this gradient from buff titanium to carbazole violet. I connect this color, take my brush, okay, and I show it in simple swatch. I take directly from the sticks, wet on dry. It's very strong. And apply the water, drop of water for diluted, for create the light from mastone. It's possible, it's important, it's possible to put, but is not recommended to drawing because the line don't remove. It's not a pastel. It's very, very important this. Okay, this is buff titanium. And the next is bismuth vanadate yellow. It's a beautiful color. Apply the water for the light. And the dot for the master. The dot, when I push it, don't use the high pressure in my hand, and the color is completely diluted in the water. But when I use the high pressure, similar to drawing, remain the same. Okay, another is ANSA yellow light. It's near to bismuth vanadate, but it's more yellow. Stone. It's possible to take in your hand many colors. For example, when I decide to work only with yellow, I put my yellow in my hand, similar to Rajat. And I have my little 4 gradient yellow. I take, and working on this. But for my style, I prefer 1 by 1. Okay.
You have a lot to learn still, Giovanni.
Yeah.
You be like Rajat.
Yeah, Rajat is impossible. I think 10 or 11.
I think he said maximum, he even had 20. I mean, imagine in one hand.
my God. Another is a Ansa yellow medium. Is a more strong yellow. Light. Light and the dot. It's important is this pressure because many color is different, and the pressure is important to don't remain the hole, the dot in the sign. Is another is one of my favorite yellow. Is the cobalt yellow is aureolin. Because aureolin is very, I consider, for example, for me, only is my opinion for my work, is aureolin is a power of yellow because I have a particular light and tonius value inside. It's beautiful because it's not strong and not light. It's perfect center in the range of yellow.
Giovanni,
Yeah.
do you pre-wet the sticks when you use them? Because it looks like they're all ready to go when you pick them up and
No,
they're dry.
yeah, it's completely dry because but the difference, for example, I show it, the difference when I apply the water before, only one drop. And I have the consistency different.
Okay.
But when I use directly, I have two possibilities, or in this case, or I take out 1 micro drops. But it's perfect for micro detail in my style. I prefer in this case.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Or another tips, diluted with little drop of water in the ceramic cups, not metal cup, but in the ceramic cup, because the ceramics is your structure, the structure of ceramic is a little sanded. And when I use the sticks, low pressure, I have a perfect melt of color.
Paint and water.
I have many possibilities. The stick is beautiful because it's a directly strong, but is directly light. It's similar. Okay. And now I'm sorry for the dust. I'm starting with the range of orange and red, spiral orange. In this case, I use the brush number 2. It's very big for me, but many people asking me, is possible to use the micro flat or micro rigger brush similar to this? Yeah, with stick is completely possible. Because now, after this, I show it the many possibilities. Okay, I use, for example, my flat brush. Or in this case, I rotate the sticks.
You can also put 2 colors on the brush.
A very, very huge quantity of color.
Molto largo, molto piccolo.
Or I use the flat brush more big, but I use, for example, two different color, or mix directly from the sticks. And I have the mixing directly from the sticks. Or another tips, when you prefer for creating your personal mixing in a half pan, I cut 3 color of sticks. And I use the corner brush or create the rainbow effect. The stick is very versatile, very, very versatile.
Can you say what was that? Those with 3 crayons together?
Yeah,
Wow. Very cool. You made that yourself then?
yeah. This is the phthalo blue and the queen coral and new gamboge. Now is dirty, but
Beautiful.
for example, I cut the 3 color prof. For example, another tips when I use the pastel tone, I cut the 2 parts of white and 1 part of color, and I have the pastel tone directly from the stick pen.
So creative. Beautiful. Thank you.
You're welcome. Another stick. Now I proceed a little rush.
These are fantastic tips. Thank you, Giovanni.
You're
Never
welcome.
thought of that.
Giovanni, what is that previous orange you were using?
This is
Organic.
No, the dark one.
Organic.
What the large swatch under your, yes, what is that?
this is a organic vermilion and ansa yellow light.
Oh, that's a mix.
Yeah.
Okay, no wonder I can't find it. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Allora, rivedere.
This is
così.
pure red.
Ok.
This is a mix.
Yeah, well, not exactly a mix, but you took with the brush, you took from both, right?
Okay. I will show it.
Can you do again?
Yeah.
Okay. When I turn around I have in this case, on the left side, I have the red and the dirty, the yellow. When I use in this case, in this case, and apply. You have or two or mixing together.
Okay.
I have this effect. Only with the sticks is possible. Directly, obviously. Okay. I continue. This is the color of the week is opera pink for the famous color in Barbie movie. This is opera pink, obviously desaturated with titanium white or diluted with water. For example, my wife, I created with opera pink one layer and pearlescent white the second layer. Show it.
That's so beautiful.
Lorena can show her.
Yeah. Now Lorena ready for the show. It is a beautiful portrait artist.
Go, Lorena.
Tuo microfono. Microfono.
You can, I think, unmute the front-facing camera, Lorena, if it's more convenient. Your laptop may be more convenient to unmute. Yeah, where you are. Is it? Oh, it's not connected. Lorena, sorry, the front-facing camera is not connected to an audio. So we have to unmute the mobile phone on top. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, we hear you now.
it's okay.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Well, now I show you something about the opera pink. This is a great color, and I love it a lot. Now I show you. When I paint on big area, I use the color by the tube. And when I paint on a small area, I use the stick. The opera pink, for me, is an interesting color because it's really, really powerful. Now you can see. Okay. That is really strong. Is a fluorescent color. For this reason, is so powerful strength. You can see the effect. Okay. This because okay, so it's better. You can see better. How I say this color is fluorescent, so sometimes it's important reduce a little bit this power, and in this case I can use the titanium white, and the effect is this. You can see that is more clear, more soft. Sometimes when I use the opera pink, especially for the portrait, I think that it's important to add a little bit of nipple of yellow, because I show you the effect. I can obtain a really interesting kind of pink that is more natural. You can see the difference between the three tones. Another possibility is use also the quinacridone pink. This is another color that I use in my portrait, and I want to explain you another thing. This is the quinacridone pink. The quinacridone pink is really transparent and is interesting for me when I realize the skin. But in this case, I mix the quinacridone pink with the new gamboge yellow. And the effect is this.
It's really beautiful, Marina.
The result is similar, but here I have put a color that is not transparent, because the Naples yellow is a semi-transparent. In this case, I have only transparent color. For the skin, this is important. It's for this reason that I prefer this solution, the quinacridone pink with new gamboge. But if I look at the opera pink, I can say that usually when I paint flower, but also animal, I put some little point of this color, because it helped me to have a particular effect, powerful effect, I can say, because all is more interesting, and also my gaze, my attention immediately see the opera pink, and all the result, in my opinion, is more interesting.
Lorena,
Oh,
can you try opera pink and new gamboge together? Mix.
yes, opera pink and new gamboge.
Yes.
Yes. Wait, I clean my palette. Now my water is dirty. I always change my my water, because I prefer that it is always clean. But in this moment, I work in this way, okay? Because I prefer that the color is pure, and I don't want that there is other pigments inside. Okay, opera pink and new gamboge. I put here, okay? You can see that it's a nice pink, but is not so natural like these two. You can see?
Good.
Thank
Okay.
you, Marina.
Thank you to you.
I think we can also, just before we go back to Giovanni, we could also invite Caroline. Let's see, Caroline, all good to go? Okay, I see you.
I'm ready to go.
What do we have there?
Oh, we have lots of things. I think something that we were talking about before together is the fact that I like to grab my my color chart and chop it up and create labels for my little stick packages, so that when you've got them open and you don't know what it is, once you've used them quite a bit, they get a bit dirty, and you know where to put them all back to, and they keep their colors nice and pure, and when you're searching you can find the colors, so it works out really well. And also for traveling, I can put all of these one little traveler's cup into a little bag, and I can take 23 colors away with me and share it with lots and lots of people, because there's plenty of pigment in one little bag, and that's all you need as a travel kit, apart from your brushes and your paper. It really, really opens up the world to having your whole toolkit with you and not having too much weight. And also they're not tubes, so there's no risk of being stopped at the airport with liquid paints because they're all dried sticks. So it's a great travel tip for those that go out plein air painting and often travel to other countries to do a little bit of artwork shopping and things like that. But on my journey of the sticks, I fell in love with them, and I started creating what is my favorite. So I did bring it down to using what was my dot cards, because I spent so many hours developing a dot card series that I felt that I would stick to the same group for my favorite sticks, because I'd already done so much testing to see what kind of mixes and things like that. So I ended up creating a group of 10. So when my students asked me, what do I recommend? I said, well, this is a good starting point. And beyond that, there's so many other beautiful colors. But if you wanted to collect a limited group, I would suggest this is a great group. So in doing that, I then tested each color and saw how it mixed with the other colors. So for example, this is the Quin Gold, and Quin Gold mixed with Cobalt Teal, or mixed with Neutral Tint, or mixed with Quin Coral, or Carbazole Violet. So you can actually see the group of what that one color from my selection of 10 could actually create. And I continue to do that through all the color ranges. So if I use Carbazole Violet and how I could make different colors and get some really beautiful, interesting olives and browns and things by the different mixes. So I don't need a brown stick if I knew how to mix them. The titanium buff, it's always a favorite in my sets, and how that does beautiful things to other colors, because it being opaque and having the white base in the actual paint, it does quite interesting techniques with other colors. So each time I tested a different stick, I thought about, well, what would I use it for? And if I could see it combined with other colors, I could quickly choose what color group I wanted for my painting by taking the time to swatch them together. So I think it's an important journey to understand what you have as your products, is to create little mixing swatch sets as well. It just speeds up the process of making good decisions when you're putting your paintings together. So that little group of, as you can see, I did it for all the sticks. I then went on to think about, well, how am I going to group my sets of sticks? So I needed to actually create a painting with a small group of sticks. So this was a group of only 5 sticks. And what could I do and what could I achieve with it? So painting a painting in the group of 5, I did lots and lots of paintings in different groups, but I came up with this combination, which I felt was a really interesting combination and diverse for landscape painting. It had the prettiness, it had the boldness, it had the granulation, it had all sorts of wonderful things that I could do with this small group of 5 sticks. So for that reason, I created these lovely little combination sheets. So when I show my students what is that set, I can actually say, well, this is that group, and this is the kind of colorings your paintings will be from that group. I did experiment with other ones. I looked at this particular group of 5, and I experimented with how they might mix together in different ways. And from that, I then also created artworks that were in this group of colors, so I could see the combination. And it's all good and well to have swatches in front of you, but until you put them together in an artwork, you don't see their balance. So creating sample artwork with the group of colors helps me to understand what that group is going to offer me when I put them together. And then I work into bigger pieces like this. where I'm having a bit of fun with Klimt paintings at the moment, where I'm diversifying them and modernising them and having fun. So using that group of colours to create some fun things like that. I also created
Caroline,
this.
all of this is
one.
gorgeous, really, really gorgeous, very
Thank you.
helpful and lovely.
So I think what my thing is like find your favorite colors, and from the small group, and we can't afford to buy every stick in the first week, but if you can buy yourself a small group and then grow your group of colors from there, creating artworks in that set gives you a really good indicator of what that set's offering you. And sort of you grow your knowledge, you grow your understanding of how they mix together and how many extra colors you can make from the group, and also the balance of the selection of colors you've put together, to know that if you're missing something particular, you know which stick to go out and buy, because, you know, I'm missing a lime green, I really need a lime green because I couldn't mix that, or I couldn't find that. And so by creating these samples, you actually really understand your group of sticks that you've bought. So my big suggestion is have fun with them. They are the most amazing product. They're the best product to travel with, and they are pure watercolor in a stick form. And Lorena just showed how you can put a little bit of water on a palette and melt the stick into that little puddle of water. And I know Giovanni has some magic tools, the way he uses his brushing sticks. You can use them so many different ways, and you can literally dip and wet your stick and draw with your stick, but it's not a crayon. You won't get the same mark, but you will get some interesting different mark making if you really explore all the different options the sticks can give you. So I think that's pretty much where I've come to with my stick suggestion today. Obviously, I pull them out and use them often in my work, and yeah, just adore the idea that they are fabulous travel companion, and also price point. They're an amazing price point because of the quantity of pigment you get in one stick, and how far that goes, and that they're all currently graded as a grade 1, series 1, and not the multi leveled series that they would be if they were in a tube. So they're very economical to buy as well. So highly recommend sticks to anybody getting into watercolor.
Caroline, I would love to see a demo with you doing your water sticks.
Yes, well, it's like 6 o'clock in the morning here and I wasn't ready for a demo.
Okay, never mind.
I thought showing you lots of samples is the closest I'm going to get to a demo today.
They're
but
beautiful.
there's hundreds of hours in these samples, so you'd never get to see all that anyway. So
okay,
there you go.
Thank you. They're beautiful.
Thank you,
Thank
Caroline, for the insights. There's so much to unpack there. That's really the beauty attending our Thursday live and even Friday live. So
sure.
So just before, we still have time, and I think just before we jump back to Giovanni's camera, we could invite Sabine. She has painted something, floral, if I'm not mistaken. Sabine, are we good to go? Yeah, okay, let me just put this on spotlight. There you go. Pink roses.
Wow.
Is that the watercolor stick?
Let's ask Sabine. Sabine, you're on now. But
your phone, Sabine.
Your mic is muted.
Yeah.
Can you hear us?
Yes. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for the tone. I hear you speaking and your mind about watercolor sticks. I use them just on a wet paper, and I draw with them on a wet paper, but I make them wet before too. I go with them in the water and make them wet, and then I go here and I paint these roses, and I can go with my brush inside and take a little bit away. And it's such an amazing because I can make it, I can hold the roses out, and it's so much fun to go inside and make just some dots, and it seems like little plants and little leaves, and you can create such beautiful things wet on wet, and I love them very much.
Very
And I
nice.
use the color pink. This is the opera pink, and for the green, I give the phthalo turquoise.
Is your
Sabine, I
paper
love the
toned in
way
the
that you're
background?
drawn.
Phthalo turquoise and opera pink, right?
Yes,
I love these
Is
two
it-
colors. Yeah.
Is the paper
yes, I
toned?
love the combination too.
Sabine, is that paper
Just
toned?
two
Because it
colors.
looks beige. Sabine, is
Thank
that
you.
paper beige?
Please,
Sabine, is
pardon?
that paper toned? It doesn't look white, the paper. Is it, or is that your
Yes,
background?
yes, it's just not a real white. It's just a tone between,
Okay, thank you.
and it's just 100-gram paper, very, very thin. And I glue it on the board. You see how thin?
Because it's wet underneath.
Yes.
So it's wet on both
No,
sides.
it's wet on the front, but on the behind I make a paste, a paper paste, and then I glue it on the board.
With
And
your
so you
paper
can
paste.
That's something.
you can play very much with the water.
That's
Very
great. I
interesting.
like the way that you've drawn into the wet paper, and
Yeah.
it leaves a really unique and different mark,
Yes.
making watercolor sticks another variety of mark making with watercolor.
And you see these little dots?
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah, lovely.
very nice.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sabine.
Sabine,
Thank you
Sabine,
so much.
when you say paper paste, what is your paste?
It's in Germany, we use it for the wallpaper. It's a wallpaper glue.
Okay, so
Oh.
it's basically a flour and water.
Yes.
And very water soluble. Yeah.
Very
Thank you.
nice.
You're welcome.
Today's session got lots of tips and techniques to unpack. So you may find yourself watching this recorded demo again over the weekend and try the tips shared by artists. And then now we're gonna have Gabrielle, who has just started coloring the umbrella. Gabrielle, take it away.
Sorry, I got impatient. I started painting already, but yes, I had a very plain umbrella, and this is a beach in San Diego called La Jolla Shores, but this is more like a February where it's kind of windy, but people still go on the beach at that time. And sometimes we get the clouds that they'll break up, and then there'll be some light that hits on a certain area. So I thought I would warm the boring umbrella up with some opera pink, and I'm now happy with how nice and warm that it looks. And then I did this fun little Pepsi logo just for giggles with the watercolor sticks with this number 8 Escoda travel brush. And that's all. Really just short and sweet. Thanks for letting me say hello to everybody.
Very nice,
Gabriel, it
Gabriel.
should have been Coke, not Pepsi. I don't like Pepsi.
I love Pepsi.
Okay,
Yes, either you love it or you hate it. It's a lovely painting, Gabriel.
Very nice, very nice, Gabriel.
Yeah, I like the contrast between the winter sea and sky and the colorful umbrella.
Yeah, very nice.
I'll come closer.
Mhm.
So you put the pink and the yellows and the lavenders, it looks nice.
Yeah.
All
Thanks,
right, Giovanni,
Gabriel.
take it away.
So go back to Gio. To Cogley. Okay, there.
I come back. Okay, I finished my swatch and I applied a little layer of neutral tint for undertones. And the last, I showed the 4 Primatech. Is the first is Sodalite, second is Piemontite, Serpentine, and Hematite. It's beautiful. It's color. And now show the last 2 tips. For example, for creating your pastel tone with sticks inside in the pen. Take your knife, optic knife, we're careful, recommended. And I decide the quantity of white in this case. And this is, and decide a little quantity.
Excuse me, while you're cutting this, Giovanni, we have a question for Gabriel. What color did you use for the sand, please?
For the sand?
No,
Oh,
for
that's
Gabriel.
Okay, yes.
My favorite is goethite. And then in this area, we have goethite with some Sleeping Beauty turquoise. And then over here, we have some wonderful neutral tint with the goethite. Thanks for asking.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gabriel. Before the applying inside in the half pen, use a little drop of water and connect the little disc and apply in my half pen and create my pastel tone. And in this case, with the sticks, I decide the pressure or create my pastel tone. This is a titanium white and phthalo turquoise.
Oh, beautiful.
Or created this tone. And the last tips, when more people asking me when I use the tiny brush or rigger brush for take the color in the sticks. For example, in the titanium white, in my titanium white, sorry, okay, I create a big hole for these sticks because I put inside and rotate, or I have the perfect color in my brush. I take my black paper and very, very strong. Or I have the possibilities put the water inside in the stick. And
Oh, so clever.
I use the wet stick directly.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Yes. I would never have thought of that. Mamma mia.
I know, right? You didn't sleep at night to find that one out. No.
I have the main possibility because I have the perfect quantity of water, and the pressure is continued dilution of water, of a color, sorry.
It's like a pen. That's
Yeah. Or when I decide,
Oh my God.
very clever.
It's too much.
Oh,
I have
wow.
You blow our mind.
I know.
and
See,
the
I know.
last, for example, what's the possibility when I, take the color with this rigger brush is only one hair brush,
One hair.
one hair. Take my knife with carefully and create.
Oh, your finger.
Yes, exactly.
I'd be bleeding right now.
Apply the color inside, rotate when I take the color.
Why did you cut it?
A little line is organic vermilion.
But why did you cut it? Why did you have a cut?
Because I have, in this case, I designed.
That's lovely, Letizia.
This is a sticks section
Yeah.
of it. I cut in this mode. When I create a line for put inside the long hair brush.
Ah.
And you can distribute the paint on all
It's different, for
length.
example, don't have a line of cut and
slide.
Is flat, and the water remain
all over the stick.
All over the sticks. When I cut, I create my
gap.
But you remove this bit.
Yeah.
You remove it. Okay.
Or remove, but save this. Not
Yes. In your white ceramic, it goes in your white ceramic container with water, right?
And it's perfectly, when I rotate, I have this perfect distribution on your brush. And create my line long.
So scientific.
Genius.
It's very perfect. And the last show the two iridescent and pearlescent in the black paper.
This black paper, is it black or you put some watercolor ground on it?
This is a black paper, and this is watercolor mass black ground.
Okay.
Okay.
Iridescent electric blue. And the pearlescent white. By the big brush. Okay. It's very beautiful. And when you forgot her names or another names of your tools, in this case, I apply on my paper tape a little layer of transparent watercolor ground and take my tiny brush and writing my name. Or
amazing.
Thank you.
That's amazing.
It is. Thank you.
This beautiful tools, beautiful tools.
Thank you. Thank you, Giovanni.
Thank you to all. Thank you.
Wow.
Fantastic tools. Right, demo.
Okay, now I show you one thing about the Opera Pink. This is a painting of a flower or a peony, and I show you the difference if you put some little point of Opera Pink. You can see that immediately this color that is really strength, give a lot of power to the composition, to the painting. Sometimes when I show to my student how I use this color, they are a little bit worried about the results because they think that is too intense, but in effect the result is interesting.
It's fabulous.
Yes, yes, and sometimes it's important to be a little bit
Courageous.
brave.
Yes, a little brave.
Yes, yes. You can
Beautiful
see.
artwork, Lorena.
Yes, thank
Wow,
you.
it's beautiful.
So this is actually a watercolor.
Yes, yes, watercolor.
Looks like a picture. A photo.
I can put also some in the background. So if I put some spots here and some in the background, I have a connection in the painting, okay? But I do this also when I realize a portrait. I show you this. You can see that in some parts of the face, I put the Opera Pink. Immediately, the gaze is more intense.
More vivid, yes.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Yes.
Can I ask you something, Lorena?
Yes.
I think that you're doing a demo or something in the Northwest Watercolor Society.
Yes, yes.
When is that?
August, I will do a workshop. Yes.
Workshop.
Yes, a workshop. I will show. I will teach how realize a portrait. I will explain how choose the subject. I realize it, my color, my mix, all these. Yes.
That's lovely. On the 12th of August, then.
Yes, 12 August.
Thank you.
Thank you to you, Angela, and thank you to all of you.
I'm pasting in the chat a direct link to Lorena's image where she posted about the workshop.
Do you have the link?
Yeah, I'm just about to put it in the chat. There you go.
Okay. Thank you.
It's already there. I'm gonna paste it Messenger too.
Okay, because I
People
cannot
say
copy that.
bye-bye.
Yes.
Thank
So
you for that, Lorena, and thank you again to Gabrielle, Caroline, and Sabine, and of course to our wonderful hosts, Giovanni and Letty. Let's put them back on frame. So I think today's session is just one of those that there's so much for everybody to unpack and learn. We hope to always see you on every Thursday and Friday. And speaking of Friday, tomorrow we're gonna have Master She. Master She, aside from being a wonderful artist, he has heartwarming stories when it comes to his relationship with Daniel Smith. So that's something not to be missed. That's all. Up again tomorrow at 8:30 in the morning.
Thank you, everybody. I'm glad I'm able to
Thank you all. Thank you,
Bye.
Giovanni.
Sharing, everybody.
Bye.